Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Have you ever felt like the world of AI is just moving incredibly fast, like almost too fast?
Oh, absolutely. Blink and you miss a major breakthrough.
Exactly. It feels like trying to drink from a fire hose sometimes. You grasp one thing, then boom, something new lands. It's exciting, sure, but keeping up, that's a real challenge.
Definitely a challenge.
Well, consider this your express lane today. Our mission here is to cut through some of that noise and really unpack Google's latest updates to its Gemini 2.5 models. We're going to focus on two big things: this deep think reasoning capability and the enhanced multimodal features. We want to get a handle on what these actually mean, not just technically, but for how you interact with tech and info every day.
That's right. And what's really interesting, I think, is that we're seeing AI move beyond just getting bigger, more parameters, more data.
Right.
It's about getting demonstrably smarter, more adaptable. It feels like a key moment in the whole AI race, with companies like Google pushing boundaries in, intelligence and actual usefulness.
The headline grabber is this thing Google calls deep think. What is it actually doing that's different? Is it really a whole new way of thinking for AI?
It's definitely a significant step, maybe with potential for a paradigm shift down the line.
Yeah.
It's an experimental mode, specifically for Gemini 2.5 Pro. Think of it less like a software update, more like a new operating mode for its brain, I guess.
Okay.
So traditional models often follow a more, let's say, linear path to an answer. DeepThink uses what Google's calling parallel thinking algorithms.
Parallel thinking. Okay, what does that actually look like in practice? How does an AI think in parallel?
Good question. Think about how you solve a complex problem. You don't usually just follow one single idea.
No, you brainstorm, weigh options.
Exactly. You explore different angles, maybe play out a few scenarios in your head before landing on an answer. DeepThink kind of does that, but computationally. It internally spins up multiple potential solutions or interpretations at the same time. It runs these mini thought experiments really fast, evaluates them, and then puts together the best, most considered response. Demis Hassabis at DeepMind said it pushes model performance to its limits, using their latest research, including these parallel techniques.
So it's more thoughtful?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. More contemplative, almost. It's moving AI from just finding information to being more of an ideation partner, something that can explore possibilities alongside you.
Okay, that sounds powerful. But how does that translate into actual results? Like, can we measure this deeper thinking? How does it stack up?
The numbers are pretty impressive, actually. They really show the impact of this parallel approach. DeepThink helped Gemini 2.5 Pro hit top performance on Live Code Bench.
Which is a coding benchmark, right?
Exactly. A tough one. Testing complex programming logic, not just simple stuff. So doing well there is a big deal. And maybe even more significantly, it managed to outperform OpenAI's O3 model on MMMU.
Okay, MMMU. Break that down for us.
Right. It stands for Massive Multitask, Multimodal Understanding. Think of it like a super hard multi-subject entrance exam for AI. Covers everything: physics, law, history, abstract reasoning, all sorts.
Wow.
So beating a strong competitor like O3 on that benchmark really signals robust general intelligence. It shows it can handle complex, varied information in a more nuanced, almost human-like way.
That's quite a claim, but I hear DeepThink isn't something you or I can just start using today. Google's being careful with the rollout.
You're absolutely right. They're being quite cautious, which honestly makes sense given the power we're talking about. Right now, it's only available to a small group of trusted testers through the Gemini API. They're doing extra safety checks before considering a wider release.
Safety first.
Exactly. It shows their focus not just on performance, but on making sure it behaves predictably and safely, mitigating bias, unintended consequences, all that crucial stuff. When you have this level of reasoning power, it's a responsible approach.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So DeepThink is about this profound, complex reasoning. But Google's obviously thinking broader too, right? About efficiency, practical use for more people. What else is new in the Gemini 2.5 series?
Right. It's not all about the heavyweight champion. They also updated the Gemini 2.5 Flash model. Think of Flash as the speedy, efficient one.
Okay.
It's optimized for situations where you need quick responses and cost effectiveness, high volume applications, that sort of thing. But here's the kicker. Even though it's built for speed, it still scores significantly higher than the previous Flash model on reasoning, multimodality, code, and handling long contexts.
So faster and smarter than its predecessor.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
You get speed and efficiency without sacrificing as much intelligence as you might expect. Ideal for things like chatbots or summarizing lots of info quickly.
That's great. But with all this power, especially DeepThink's complex processing, how do developers or users manage the cost? Or decide how much thinking they need? Can you adjust it?
That's exactly where thinking budgets come in. And this is pretty novel. Google announced it for both DeepThink and Flash.
Thinking budgets.
Yeah. It's basically a control knob. It lets you, the developer or user, directly balance how much computational power you use against the accuracy you need and how fast you need the response.
Interesting. So you can tune it.
Precisely. For some tasks, maybe critical analysis or complex code, you might allocate a larger budget to let DeepThink really flex its muscles, even if it takes a bit longer and costs more compute time.
Okay.
But for other things like summarizing an email or drafting a quick reply, you could set a smaller budget, use Flash efficiently, and get a fast, cheap answer. It gives you really fine-grained control.
That sounds incredibly useful. Real control over the AI's effort level.
Yeah.
So what's actually making all this possible? What's the tech underneath?
Well, at the core, you've got these advanced transformer architectures. That's the foundation for most modern large language models, letting them understand complex patterns in data.
Right.
On top of that, they're using chain-of-thought reasoning. That's where the AI kind of shows its work, breaking problems down step by step.
Makes sense.
And crucially, multimodal processing. These models aren't just text in, text out. They handle images, audio, text, and understand the connections between them. DeepThink specifically seems to be using techniques maybe similar to OpenAI's O-series, exploring multiple solution paths internally before settling on one. That's likely key to its advanced reasoning. Plus, they've probably integrated specialized neural pathways just for logical reasoning, like a dedicated logic unit.
Empowering all this. That must take some serious computing muscle, right? It's not just clever software.
Oh, absolutely not. Google's massive infrastructure is fundamental. They're using their new TPU v5 Ironwood chips. These things are beasts, designed specifically for AI.
How powerful are we talking?
They're getting 42.5 exaflops of compute per pod. An exaflop is, well, it's a huge number, a quintillion calculations per second. This is apparently a 10x improvement over their last generation TPUs.
Wow.
So yeah, that kind of hardware lets them train these incredibly complex models like DeepThink, but also offer efficient ones like Flash cost effectively. It's the engine driving everything.
So AI getting smarter, faster, more controllable. But let's bring it back to the listener. What does this actually mean for how you get information day to day? It sounds like Google's moving beyond just showing us links.
Exactly. And one of the most tangible examples of this is a new feature called audio overviews.
Audio overviews?
Yeah. Imagine searching for something complex, and instead of just getting a list of blue links, you get an AI-generated audio summary, like a mini podcast episode, but dynamically created just for your search.
Wait, an AI-generated podcast summarizing search results?
Kind of. They're designed as these dynamic two-voice conversations generated entirely by AI, summarizing the key points from the search results in an engaging way. Google started experimenting with this around June 15th, 2025, for certain types of searches.
Wow. Okay, that sounds potentially game-changing. No more scrolling through pages of text. What's the biggest impact you see from something like that?
Well, the immediate thing is hands-free information. You could be driving, cooking, working out, and get a decent summary of a complex topic without staring at a screen.
Yeah, I can see that being huge.
It could really shift how we consume information online, maybe leaning more towards listening in certain situations. It reduces that reliance on purely text-based results.
But what about content creators? If the AI summarizes everything, why would people click through? Does this change the game for websites and publishers?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It absolutely could shift things. If users get the gist from the AI summary, the value of a click-through might decrease. It potentially challenges current online business models built on traffic and ads. We might see a push towards, I don't know, audio SEO, optimizing content for AI summarization, or maybe it forces creators to offer unique value beyond summarization, like deeper analysis or interactive elements. It definitely shakes things up.
It really sounds like it. So pulling back again, these updates, DeepThink, Flash, budgets, audio overviews.
Yeah.
What does this signal about the bigger picture in AI? Where is this all heading?
Well, it clearly shows we're moving towards much more capable AI. Systems that can handle complex multi-step reasoning across Modeled suggests a future where all AI might have these enhanced thinking abilities built in. Less just information retrieval, more actual understanding and problem solving. For Google, it definitely solidifies their position in the AI arms race.
Yeah.
Their infrastructure investment plus these model improvements show they're serious. But industry-wide, it signals a shift, I think.
The shift how?
From just scaling up being models bigger and bigger towards more sophisticated reasoning, making them more efficient and practical, and creating genuinely useful multimodal applications that fit into our lives more naturally. It's about depth and utility now, not just sheer size.
So the end game isn't just about having the biggest AI, it's about changing how you, the user, actually interact with information, making it more seamless, more intelligent, more multisensory even.
And that seems to be the direction, yes.
Ah.
Moving beyond the simple search box towards richer, more integrated experiences.
Okay, so just to quickly wrap up our deep dive today, we looked at Google's big Gemini 2.5 moves. Key things were that deep think reasoning mode, pushing the boundaries for pro, then the super efficient Gemini 2.5 Flash, and those thinking budgets giving users real control. And maybe the most direct impact for many listeners soon, those audio overviews, potentially changing how we get information on the go. It really shows Google's pushing hard and expanding what AI can do for us every day.
Indeed. And it leaves you with a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? If AI can start to think in parallel like this and turn complex data into easy-to-listen-to conversations, how is that going to reshape our daily routines, how we work, how we learn, maybe in ways we can't even really grasp just yet?
Definitely something to ponder, a lot to think about there. As always, stay curious, keep exploring this incredible, fast-moving world of AI with us.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.